IVC, down gate fill 33, straight back on with a second video. So I split up my holiday finds video, so I've already dealt with the records that I bought from charity shops, vintage malls or vintage places and record shops. So while I was in one of the record shops, I won't name it to protect the innocent, but while I was in one of the record shops, I was sort of doing a bit of digging. I'd finished, didn't have anything, and just as I was about to leave, and a woman came in, went up to the counter. There were two guys in there, and said, you know, I've got my car. It's in the car park down the road. I've got a few bags of records and a load of CDs. Are you interested? And they said, well, we've got a load of stock at the moment. We don't want CDs, so we're not interested in the CDs. And records, what sort of records are they? And she said, oh, just average stuff. And they said, well, we'll take them off your hands. We won't give you any money for them, but if you can drive by and stop outside the shop, we'll rush out and grab them off you. So she said, oh, okay, and sort of was leaving the shop, and I thought, I'm sure I can do a bit better than that. So I followed her out of the shop. She went into the dry cleaners opposite, so I waited, and she came out the dry cleaners, and I kind of said, excuse me, you know, blah blah blah, you know, I might be interested in looking, you know, can I have a look at the records? She said fine, so I helped her carry her dry cleaning back to the car park. She opened the boot. She had 4 carrier bags, or 3-4 carrier bags of records. I went through it. It was okay stuff. So I kind of said, well, what do you reckon? So we agreed on a tenner for the records. And then she said, do you want the CDs? I said, well, I'm here on holiday really. She had a load of boxes, cardboard boxes of CDs, sort of wine bottle boxes, sort of things, that sort of thing, full of CDs, all sealed up. I said, well, not really, probably, because I'm here on holiday and the car, you know, I want to fill the car up. She said, oh, well, I'll take them to the tip, then, you know, because the record shop wasn't interested. Well, I thought, I can't let them go to the tip. So I said, oh, go on then, I'll risk it. So I got in a car. She drove around to where I was parked, and we kind of transferred over about 10 cardboard boxes, sealed. So I was buying the stuff blind, sealed boxes of CDs, and the 4 bags of records, and I gave her a tenner for all of that. So I ended up with 500 CDs and 100 records for a tenner. So I will give us an exact sample of what it was. So what I did was I then went back to where we were staying. I went back to where my wife was visiting a friend. Confessed my sins. My wife was very good about it, maybe because I did it in front of her friend. She didn't go mental over it. And then we went back to the bungalow we were staying. I brought it all in, unsealed it all, went through it all, put it into charity shop records and CDs, car boot sale records and CDs, and possibly keep and give a listen to records and CDs. And all the charity shop stuff I took to the charity shop the next day because I didn't want to bring it all the way home from holiday. So that was about 200 of the 500 CDs, and about a third of the records went to a charity shop. Then there's quite a chunk of the records that I will sell or put in my own car boot box. Similarly with a lot of the CDs, about half the CDs were classical CDs, so 250 classical CDs, which I never listen to classical music because I don't know anything about it, not because I do enjoy it. So I've kept quite a lot of the classical CDs for free, just to thought, well, I can give them a try. I'll probably never listen to them, but I will put them in some boxes, and as I say, probably never listen to them. So I'll go through some of the records that I did pick up, and actually, the first. Give you a little bit of a reveal there. The first 6 or 7 are records that I've had purged, and now I've got back again. Probably regretted purging them, to be honest, so I'm happy to get them back for essentially everything was free really. For £10 for 500 records and 100 albums, everything's free really, when you kind of average it out. So so let's start with the records. that I'm probably keeping. There's a few more I'll maybe give another chance, but most of the others I've got them already, so I'm going to sell them. But again, nothing exciting. I think the most exciting, there's a Sandy Denny album in there, but it's a later 70s reissue. So yeah, nothing too exciting. But mainly it was compilation albums, so best ofs of artists or various artist comps, particularly the CDs, classical or folky stuff, and that was why I was more interested, particularly in the in the folky and traditional stuff in the CDs. So anyway, what is it, 5 minutes, nearly 6 minutes, I haven't showed anything yet, so let's get on with it, Dale. So the records, so these are all records that I've had in the past, got rid of, now I've got back. The actual vinyl, the vinyl's dusty, but looks really clean. The vinyl sort of as in really good condition, so hopefully it's all good. So yeah, Steely Dan I've had in the past. I've had this Paul Simon album in the past, still crazy after all these years, but again, for free, get it back. This one I was quite happy to find, are Waterboys, the best of 81 to 90. So that was quite nice to find. Again, all these I've got rid of. Susan Vega's self-titled album, I pulled or rescued Solitude Standing out of the bins last year and quite enjoyed going back to it. So this is another one I'm going to revisit. Purged this, and now I've got it back. Simon and Garfunkel, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary and Thyme. A lot of people have talked about this being a popular one, so I'll say I can give it another go now, having previously purged it. Again, this I purged. I had a copy of this, a UK copy. This is a US Atlantic press, but only because I got Chic's greatest hits, and a lot of the kind of best tracks from this are on that. So I kind of thought I don't need both, but now I've got it back. I might give it another spin. And then the one I was kind of really happy to get, I've had in the past, got rid of one of my first CDs I ever bought back in the day. What was the day? 88. Is the Tracy Chapman album. So this is in really nice condition, and this is quite hard to get hold of these days. So I was happy to find that. And then the rest were nothing special, stuff I haven't got, but I thought I'd give a chance. So there's a Roberta Flack best of comp, so I'll see how that flows as to whether I keep it as a vinyl record. Again, a Pentangle at their best. I like Pentangle. This is a double comp, so again I'll see how that flows as to whether I like it, because I've got all the Pentangle albums individually. There were about 5 or 6 Judy Zook albums, an artist that I struggle with a bit with her voice. I first came across her, I think I used to listen to Tommy Boyd's Nightline on LBC in the 80s, and she was doing a tour with her Road Noise live album in 82, I think it was, and they played some songs from that and I really enjoyed them, so I bought that live album when I was 15, and but I thought I'll give her some of her studio albums and a go. I'm not expecting much. A Steel Eye Span album, 89, so I don't know what this is like. 89 Steel Eye Span album, Tempted and Tried, a 20th anniversary celebration, so I don't know if it's a comp or an actual album, but give that a go. Another comp, say there were lots of comps. Donna Summer double on the radio, the greatest hits, volumes 1 and 2 together. I've got Bad Girls, is the only Donna Summer album I've got on vinyl, so worth having this. And then I played the other day on my Lost in the Collection, Joan Armour Trading's first album. There's her second album, so I'll give that a go. And also there was a comp of her sort of greatest hits, I think. So give them a go. This album, I've got nothing by this artist in the collection, so I thought I'll give it a go. James, Gold Mother. From, was it 1990 as well, is it? 1990 original. So yeah, give that a try. And another album I was happy to get from about the same period, is it? 88, is Sade's Stronger Than Pride. So yeah, so not bad. Nothing outstanding, but say some albums for free to add to my massive listening pile. So, and now let's do some CDs. I've got them in sort of, there's some box sets, some folky, and some other stuff. I'll just show. So on the classical side, there were quite a few of these sort of boxes, and there were a lot of the Naxos series. I don't know if they're any good. Lots of them. I kind of kept all the ones that had weird artists or weird subjects that I'd never heard of. I didn't sort of keep all the Mozart and Bach and Beethoven, because I've got stuff already on those, or there were other versions of kind of collections, so I kind of kept them. But this is Shostakovich Complete Symphonies, 12 CD box of Shostakovich symphonies. So don't know Shostakovich. Then there is a big box, a Naxos box, 5 CDs and I guess a big, 5 CDs in dual cases, Elgar symphonies, cello concertos, etc. There was Beethoven's 9 symphonies on CD. I've got them on vinyl. There was early English choral. I thought I'd give that a try. So that's it, sort of. That's all I'm going to show on the classical. There's another 200 odd classical albums that I've got to kind of decide what I'm going to do with. Sort of not classical at all, but classic. Where there were 2 box sets, so I've got probably the complete works of Flanders and Swann. Again, the thing about buying these sort of collections, particularly blind, is you get stuff that you would never ever even consider buying. Particularly, I mean, these go for a fair price. I think this one actually goes for quite a lot of money, and I would never, if I was going to a record fair or even probably a car boot sale, I wouldn't pick up. But when you've got it for free, I may give it a go. So yeah, so some classic sort of comedy records. They're complete works really, of Flanders and Swann. And then we got some things I was quite happy to find actually. So Bonzo Dog Band, Chronology, which is really their complete works, all the 1, 2, 3, 4 sort of 5 albums, first 5 albums and a few other tracks on a 3 CD set. So yeah, happy to get that. Caper Cayley live, so folk, Gaelic sort of folk artist live. Was it live double, live single? Thunderbirds. Again, it's just some random stuff. Portico Quartet, which are sort of, I don't know, new jazz. I don't know where this is from actually, 2008, so that's fairly recent. Fairport Convention. I've got the digital rip of this, so it's good to have the a CD. Sort of a random, sort of weird classical stuff in there. So To Drive the Cold Winter Away, a fireside presentation of music for merrymaking down the ages. So again, give that a go. Shirley and Dolly Collins, Love, Death and the Lady. I've got an original Harvest pressing of this, so good to get a digital copy. Van Morrison's Philosopher's Stone, the unreleased tapes, a double CD box. Is it double CD? Yeah. Of that, didn't even know that existed, so good to give that a go. And something I had actually been considering buying is Bob Dylan's Biograph CD box, 3 CDs and a booklet. So again, got that for free, so that's pretty good. What we do, we'll do a few more. These are now things I don't really know anything about. These look like the sorts of, you go to a folky, sort of a folk evening and they're selling their CDs, or these are kind of slightly more or less well known, more obscure UK folk artists by what I can tell. So that's what they all look like. I haven't delved into them yet, but that's, to me, that sounds interesting. I'm keen to hear these. And again, I would never have picked any of these up, or even probably had the opportunity to pick any of these up. So the first one is, I think the artist is called Sheila Gig, which Sheila Gig is a song that I know PJ Harvey did, and Baba Yaga's Ball. So again, no idea. Mute Fish on Draft. Again, no idea what that is. Griselda Sanderson and Harpophonics. So give that a listen. Pauline Cato featuring Tom McInville, Changing Tides. So yeah, if you put any comments, if you know, there's a few sort of oboes or flutes or whatever it looks like on that, so maybe that's yeah, it is oboe, isn't it? I think Tina, obviously on the coast there. Don't know what that is, whether it's Irish. Well, the credits are sort of Kelly and a Sweeney, so I'm assuming recorded at Ballyban Recording Studios, Galway. So I don't know what that is, whether it's naff or good. Dominic Allen, Stick. No idea. This is signed. Tim Eady and Bren Power, Wriggle and Rive. Got an accordion there, or a squeeze box, but again, no idea. Rory Milligan and the Imaginary Band. Inga Thompson, Shipwrecks and Static. So again, no idea. Indian Red Lopez, Empty Your Lungs and Breathe. Joanna McGregor, Play. I did look up, she seems to have quite a lot of records out, so maybe quite a, don't seem folky. And finally, Frigg, Timeline. So that's just a selection of some of the stuff. So there's loads of various artist comps, loads of classical, loads of individual artist comps, a few stuff that I'm going to put in the Carpet Sales stuff of, you know, stuff I've got. There was some Nick Drake, some Pink Floyd and things like that, but you know, another copy of Dark Side of the Moon and Animals, and not Animals, but you know, The Wall and all that on CD. So yeah, so yeah, it was a good interesting adventure. The adventure's only started because I haven't listened to any of this yet. I haven't catalogued any of this yet. Decided what I'm going to do with it, and it's all littered around me. Yeah, so as if I didn't have enough to listen to on vinyl, I've now got 300 bonus CDs to listen to on CD. Okay, I'll stop rambling there and get on and try and tidy up this incredibly shrinking and ever shrinking small bedroom in the house before it goes through the ceiling into the kitchen. Yep, so cheers VC. I'll be back probably with some recent finds of the more conventional through the mail new stuff that I've actually ordered variety rather than random stuff that I found. I'm hoping to get back to record fairs. I think I've concluded through my visits to record shops, particularly at the moment, record shops seem to be quite highly priced and not have the kind of quality stuff that I want, apart from Clocktail Records in Bridport, which I can't pop to all the time, although it's only half an hour from my parents. So I think record fairs and online is still the way to go for me, and car boots and chance hauls from random accosting of women. So yeah, so I'm hoping to get some record fairs, that the kind of group of fairs that I normally go to are coming. There is a Reading fair in September, I think. Then there's maybe one other in September, and the Winchester fair, which hasn't been going for a long time because of COVID, is due to come at the end of, or in October. So I might maybe do that. Right, stop waffling now. I made it up to 20 minutes of waffle. Yep, cheers, easy, bye.